In Karnataka, it's Congress vs Congress as leaders flag internal strife, corruption under Siddaramaiah. In Karnataka, it's no longer the opposition targeting the government, it's the Congress firing at itself. Ministers are accusing each other of corruption, threatening to resign over lack of funds, and taking public swipes at their own leadership. A deepening factionalism in the Siddaramaiah DK Shivakumar's government, worsened by a fund crunch even as Bajya guarantee schemes are being rolled out to woo voters, has come out in the open. The internal rebellion, no longer a whisper, has become a political embarrassment, exposing how governance is crumbling under factional fights and financial stress. With 4 senior leaders raising their voices on issues of corruption, fund crunch, and lack of development, the cracks are now visible. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is clearly under pressure, with at least 4 senior Congress MLAs raising serious questions about corruption and governance failures. When asked about what action would be taken on the issues raised by the MLAs or against the dissenting leaders, the Chief Minister said he would call a meeting of the legislators and discuss their grievances with them directly. Meanwhile, MLA Raju Kage, in a fresh development, said he was not blaming anyone, but disappointed. A year ago, I laid the foundation for a road in a village, but even after all this time, no construction has started. When I asked the contractor, he said nothing has moved. The Chief Minister had released Rs 25 crore, yet in many departments, files simply don't move. Ministers are not reachable on phone either. The government should set a rule: no file should be held up in any department beyond a fixed time frame. The CM hasn't spoken to me, and that's upsetting. This kind of delay has been happening for the past 2 years. At a time when Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has been praising the Congress government's guarantee schemes, it's his own party's MLAs in Karnataka who are exposing the chinks in public. Among the most vocal are B.R. Patil, New York Gopalakrishna, Bellur Gopalakrishna, and Raju Kage. But what has made things even more uncomfortable for the Congress is a comment by the Chief Minister's political secretary and economic advisor, Basavaraj Rayareddy. Rayareddy, when asked about the corruption allegations against Minister Zamir Ahmed Khan, said corruption is not unique to their government. Corruption is a global phenomenon. Known for making uncomfortable statements about the financial crisis faced by the government, Rayareddy had earlier said the guarantee schemes were putting serious pressure on the state's economy. Now, by admitting that corruption exists in the system and trying to justify it by calling it a global issue, he has once again stirred the pot. He later tried to walk back his comments, saying Patil's statement had been twisted, and added that Zamir was one of the good ministers. Interestingly, B.R. Patil, who invited the controversy, clarified that he hadn't named any individual. I only spoke about Sarfaraz, our housing minister's private secretary. Have I made any allegation against the minister? Patil asked while speaking to the media. All I have said is that corruption exists in the Rajiv Gandhi Housing Corporation, and I have sought an investigation. A clear U-turn. The government's financial mess was acknowledged publicly by Home Minister G. Parameshwara at a public event in Badami. We don't have money. Even Siddaramaiah doesn't, he was heard saying. He added that the state had already distributed rice, dal, and oil under guarantee schemes, and urged local leaders to send a Rs 1,000 crore proposal to the Centre for Developing Badami. The strongest attack came from B.R. Patil, who alleged a housing scam in the Rajiv Gandhi Housing Corporation. In a leaked audio clip, Patil is heard accusing officials of demanding bribes to allot houses. He claimed that his own recommendations were ignored in favor of those who paid money. He even warned that if the list of beneficiaries was made public, the revelations could shake the government. Another Congress leader and MLC, Bellur Gopalakrishna, has demanded that Zamir Ahmed resign in the wake of these allegations to allow for a fair investigation. A senior MLA has made these charges. Let the minister step down, face the probe, and come back if cleared, he said. Molekulmaru MLA New York Gopalakrishna also hit out at his government. Calling himself foolish for believing he could bring development to his constituency, he said he couldn't even get a drainage system, a decent road, or a school built in the area. We don't even have the basics. How do you expect to run an industry here, he said. Then came Kage, MLA from Kagwood, who threatened to resign, saying that not a single work order had been issued in his constituency in 2 years, despite Rs 25 crore being sanctioned for development. The people in my constituency are cursing me. I am hurt. If I meet the CM, I may resign, he said. He backed Patil's corruption charges and said the system had completely collapsed. Sources within the Siddaramaiah government tell NEWS 18 that the dissenting leaders will be called by the CM and warned against speaking openly. There are a few leaders who feel that they have been constrained with funds, but this is not the way to air their concerns, said a senior Congress leader to NEWS 18. The CM is in Delhi. He will also discuss the matter with the High Command and later call a meeting for these leaders as well. Another source confirmed that the Congress High Command would issue notices to the dissenting leaders and a gag order may be put in place. The BJP, meanwhile, has said it will take to the streets and launch a campaign against the corruption in the Congress government. Karnataka BJP President by Vijayendra launched a sharp attack, calling the Congress administration a loot machine. There is only one scheme in this government: corruption, he said. Vijayendra stated that even Congress MLAs were now admitting the truth that the government was collapsing under corruption and inaction. The BJP has pointed to the MUDA scam, the misuse of Valmiki funds, and now the housing scam as proof that the Congress narrative of good governance is falling apart from within. Union Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy called it a betrayal of the poor. Owning a house is every poor family's dream. But this government is extracting money from them. Why are middlemen even allowed inside Vidhana Sabha? It's the ministers who have institutionalized this corruption by fixing rates inside their departments, he said. Swipe left for next video. He claimed that MLAs have no real power anymore and that middlemen are running the show. Funds and approvals are managed through bribes offered by middlemen. MLAs have been reduced to figureheads, he said, calling it the worst kind of system now operating in the state. Referring to B.R. Patil's leaked audio clip, Kumaraswamy said, he clearly said that houses were being allotted only to those who paid money. I'm not surprised, these things are already widely known. Latest blogs.